Hello everybody and welcome back to Cooking with Grandma. Today I'm going to make you two recipes. I'm going to make applesauce cookies and I'm going to make peanut butter cookies. Now I have made peanut butter cookies on my videos before. It's like the all-time classic cookie. It's the best cookie ever. Now this cookie recipe is a little bit different and I'm going to be giving a prize to the first person that leaves me a comment and can tell me what ingredient is missing in these cookies. Now, you leave me a comment. I will put my email address in the description box, and whoever is the first one to comment, go to my email address and give me your address, and I will mail you a copy of a little booklet of some of my favorite recipes. That's for the prize. It doesn't matter where you live. I'll type them up, put them in a little binder, and send them out to you. So the first one that leaves a comment and that can tell me what is missing in these cookies will win Grandma's recipes. All right, so let's begin. So the first thing we need is 1 cup of peanut butter. All right, there's 1 cup of peanut butter going in. Okay, get it all scraped out of there. I did not put a little butter or something in my measuring cup, so it's a little bit of effort to get it out. Okay, so 1 cup of peanut butter. To that, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. Oops, almost added a cup of flour. That would not be a good idea. I'm asking for sugar. 1 cup of sugar. So here's half a cup. And a cup. And now the next ingredient we're going to be putting in is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And a capful is a teaspoon. There we go. In goes the vanilla. And the next ingredient is 1 egg. 1 egg going in. And the next ingredient is a tiny bit of salt, 1/4 teaspoon. So now I'm going to mix this all up. So there's your ingredients: peanut butter, sugar, egg, and a touch of salt. So now, who can tell me what is missing in these cookies? It's a small recipe, so it doesn't make that many cookies, but you can double it easy enough if you want extra. Okay, look it, easy, done. That took all of 3 minutes. So I'm going to put them on my cookie sheets. You do it the same way, you bake them the same way. Rounded teaspoons on your cookie sheet. Get my spoon out here. That was one thing I forgot to get, is my spoon. So we're going to put rounded teaspoonfuls on your baking sheet. And put it on like that. And it's the same thing what you would do with the regular peanut butter cookie recipe. You put them on your cookie sheet, a couple inches apart, just a dozen each in each tray, and you push them down with a fork, crisscross, make the crisscross pattern as traditional peanut butter cookies are. There we go. And 1 more. And these are going to taste and look exactly the same as the original recipe. I guarantee it. Now for these, I'm going to just dip my fork here, because they're a little bit moist, and just do the crisscrosses just like that. Same as you would with your normal everyday peanut butter cookie recipe. So if anybody out there has watched my videos and would like some of the recipes that I put on, some that I even haven't done yet. You let me know what's missing in these peanut butter cookies, and that recipe booklet is yours. So in these go in the oven for 7 to 10 minutes. While the first tray is baking, I will go ahead and put my next batch on the next cookie tray. I could have done 2 cookie trays at once, but I figure I'd have those baking while I'm doing this and starting the applesauce cookies, so you can see when they're done that they look exactly like a regular peanut butter cookie. I'm going to set my timer though, because sometimes I get busy and I get forgetting that that something's in the oven. It's like, uh-oh, guess what? No peanut butter cookies today. So look at how easy and simple this was. Like start to finish. Baking time 7-8 minutes. Prep time like 2 minutes just to get all your stuff out, and a minute to mix it all in. And there you go. So I'd say 15 minutes, maybe 20, start to finish. That's pretty good for, and I got 2 dozen cookies. Again, you can double this recipe because usually the regular traditional cookie recipe, peanut butter cookie recipe, gets like 3 or 4 dozen. And again, it also depends on how big you make them too. I'm making these just teaspoon size. So there it is. That's it. It's done. I'm going to crisscross these guys, get another bowl, and start our applesauce cookies. Now I've had this recipe for a while and I have not tried it. It's in a book, a great big book that my daughter gave me one year for Christmas with the subtle hint. It's called the Great Big Cookie Book. So it's a subtle hint. Mom, make me some cookies. And that's that's what it is. It's there. It's the Great Big Cookie Book. It has got everything. 200 recipes. Cookies, brownies, scones, bars, and biscuits. So we're going to make the applesauce cookies. And that's what they look like right there. Let's see after I'm done if they look like the recipe. Now the only reason I didn't make these before is that this recipe calls for you making your own applesauce, which in itself is not a big deal. You peel, you core, you chop, you cook. It's, you know, a little bit of time, effort, because you have to, you know, you have to do all that extra stuff. Well, I happen to have a jar of applesauce in the refrigerator and it'll work exactly the same. So we're going to be good. Because you do the same thing, you puree it, and, you know, you just use it like you would regular applesauce. Homemade is nice, homemade is good, but again, I'm not taking the time for that. So for this recipe, what we need is, there's nothing missing in this recipe, there's no surprises, no secrets. Okay, so this recipe calls for, cool slightly in the oven. We have to cream together the sugar and the butter until it's well mixed, and then beat in the applesauce. So sugar is a 1/2 cup of sugar. And remember my tip, dry ingredients go in the flat measuring cups, wet ingredients go in the one with the spout. So 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/2 cup of butter or margarine. I use margarine. Measure that out. Okay, 1/2 cup of butter in, and I just have to go over to the other side of my kitchen to the drawer and grab me another wooden spoon. That first one's all full of peanut butter. Okay, so we're going to mix the butter and the sugar together till it's all well blended. And it doesn't take much. Just kind of stir it around, back and forth. Nothing scientific or hard about it. This is again a very pretty easy recipe, and it's like pretty much all the common ingredients you would have in your pantry anyway. So to that we're going to add the applesauce, which when you make it yourself it says 3/4 of a cup. So that's what I'm going to put in. I'm going to get my measuring cup, and I'm going to get my jar of applesauce, and I'm going to pour it in 3/4 of a cup. Now this I would consider a liquid because it's kind of not a solid, but it's not a liquid either. So I'm going to consider it a liquid and just go ahead and put it in like that. In goes the applesauce. And we're going to give that a good mix. These look like they're going to be very good and very, they'll be a moist cookie, a soft cookie. Now right now, the batter looks horrible. It looks like something curdled. I have a solid bowl, and you just can't see, but I'm going to show you how nasty it looks, but it's okay. I've had this happen before. So this is what it kind of looks like. It's pretty gross looking. It looks like, you know, curdled milk. Once everything else is mixed in, it'll be fine. I've made recipes where I've used sour cream and in with the butter and the sugar, and it did the same, had the same effect. It's something to do, a chemical thing with the butter that makes it look weird. Okay, so that's icky, but it's good. It's in. All right, so to that, we're going to put the flour, baking powder, and baking soda and salt in the cinnamon. So now we need 1 cup of flour, and 1 cup, oh, okay, and 1 cup of measuring cup is in the sink. So this is a 1/3 measuring cup, so I need 3 of those to make 1 cup. 3/3 equals a cup. And there's my timer. I'm going to check on our special peanut butter cookies. I almost said it. They need another minute or 2. Okay, so that's a cup of flour, and we need 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, which means that these guys are going to rise a little bit. Baking powder, where are you? I took everything out and put it on my counter. There it is. So 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm slipping today. I didn't get some of my things out. I didn't get my measuring spoons out. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. It's in. And a pinch of salt, which I say is 2 shakes. And 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And that's all the ingredients that is in these applesauce cookies. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. When I copy the recipe and put it in the description box, I will give you the instructions on how to make your own applesauce. I mean, it's really easy. You just peel and cut up your apples, put them in a pan with a little bit of water, and cook them down. Reduce them on low heat until they're very soft, and then you just put them in a food processor or blender and mush it up. Now these are very, very, very wet. I don't know about this. Let's see what it says here. Flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything because they look very, very wet. Drop teaspoonfuls of dough on the prepared baking sheet. Bake for 8 to 10 minutes. Okay. And our peanut butter cookies are done. The first batch. And you can see they look just like your regular, ordinary peanut butter cookies. You tell me if you can guess what's missing. I'm going to put my other tray of peanut butter cookies in. And I'll get a couple more out for the applesauce cookies. Now, it's says prepared pan, so I'm going to read back on my recipe. Yeah, it says to grease them. Okay, because some cookies will stick. Now, I do have parchment paper, so instead of greasing my cookies, I'm going to go ahead and use my parchment paper. It'll be a lot quicker, easier cleanup. The cookies will just slide right off. And then you don't have a greasy, dirty cookie sheet. You can take the parchment off and put your cookie sheet back in the cupboard. Put that on there. There we go. Now, I am a little concerned because this is so wet, but I'm going to go by what the directions said. And then you drop them by teaspoonfuls on prepared sheets about 2 inches apart. So basically just like your regular cookie. I'm just wondering how there's going to be a very soft, moist cookie, which is okay. You know, you like that once in a while. You don't have to have a hard, crunchy cookie. Well, they're very nice to work with, very smooth. Taste is very good. Just tasted the batter. You can really taste that applesauce. Really good flavor. And not only that, but it was unsweetened applesauce. I just looked at the label, but because of the sugar we put in there before, it doesn't taste like it's unsweetened. Alright, there we are. Now I'm going to put these in the oven, and it says to bake them for 8 to 10 minutes. So I'll go ahead and read out that first. I put that first tray of peanut butter ones back in for a minute. I just wanted them to cook a little bit more. In goes the applesauce cookies. So I'm going to set the timer for 8 minutes, and I will pause this and I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, so here are the applesauce cookies. They're all nice and done, and as you can see, they are a very soft cookie. They're still soft, but they're nice, just nice and browned on the bottom, and they're just really nice. They probably should go on a plate, not in your cookie jar, because I'm sure they're going to stick together if they're on top of each other. I'm going to let them cool on my wire rack and put them on a plate, and there's 2 dozen of them. They'll probably be gone by morning. So now, don't forget to please like and subscribe and leave a comment. My email address will be in the description box. The first person I get an email from telling me what was missing from the peanut butter cookies, what ingredient was missing, and give me your address, and I will send you a cookbook of Grandma's recipes. All my favorites that I've done on my videos, and even some that I haven't. And if there's a particular recipe that you like but don't have, add that and I'll add it to the list. So everybody enjoy your cookies and your savory dishes, your suppers. Let me know in the future what you'd like to see, and have a good day, everybody. Bye.